Well, hey, what is up? Welcome back. This is Freed's first time. I am Freed. If you're new to the channel, I'm just your average fella that likes to listen to music, laugh, and talk about whiskey. You like that too? Hit subscribe or give me a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. Today we're checking out the Ardbeg 5-year-old Wee Beastie. Dude, did I ever tell you, like, an ex of mine in college gave me this nickname for my penis? Oh, no, it wasn't like because of the size. It was because I would just sporadically urinate on everything. It didn't make any sense. I still do. Okay, yeah, it was also because of the size. No, dude, that really hurt. You should have seen it. It was pulled out like a Stretch Armstrong. Well, needless to say, we had to throw that garden hose away. And dog didn't look at me in the eye for like a month. Strange. Whew. Anywho. Okay, to Isla. Yeah, so if you're unfamiliar with Ardbeg, welcome to the party. It's a big name on in Scotch whiskies. This is basically what, if you're unfamiliar with Scotch whiskies, when someone says, I like Scotch, or would you like some Scotch, people's brains automatically go to something like this, something smoky, something earthy, something heavy, something just knock your socks off with flavor. This is the 5-year-old Wee Beastie. It's 47.4% ABV, only 5 years old, obviously. So it's gonna have that youth element to it, a little bit of sharpness, a little bit of jagged edges, which I like that, to be perfectly honest with you. It was aged in ex-bourbon and ex-Oloroso barrels. And yeah, it's the newest line to the Ardbeg core range. And I just decided to hold off on reviewing this until the hype, chilled out, because everybody was going just apeshit over this. And, reasonably so. It's pretty popular. It's a very popular distillery. And they put out so many things. Not so much age-stated stuff, but just a lot of different things that put out yearly releases, and a whole bunch of different like non-age statement whiskeys. And it's pretty rad. They're continuously putting things out and continuously pushing the envelope and trying new things and experimenting, which you gotta respect that. Yeah. So let's just pour it. I did try this with water when I was making my notes, and if for future reference, if you do continue to watch this channel, if something does drastically get benefited by adding water, I would absolutely tell you. For me, this one didn't. The sweetness kind of popped up a little bit. The mouthfeel changed just a hair, but not enough to really make it a part of this video. So anyways, moving on. Oh, by the way, I think I forgot to mention, at the end of this video, I'm gonna put a little music pairing on with this, which is kind of what I do. I think music and whiskey just go so well together. So stick around to the end and I will give you a music pairing for this. And I think it's a good one. It matches very, very well. Anyway, Ardbeg Wee Beastie 5-year-old on whiff. Some smoke right up front, followed by like an asphalt type of note. And the smoke, and bear with me now, and I don't know if many of you will have this reference, but the smoke is similar to this thing that they call here called moxibustion, which is like a TCM, which is traditional Chinese medicine type of method of curing, kind of, I don't want to say curing, but treating like aches and pains and muscle sores and things like that. And what they do, there are multiple ways to do it, but what they do is there's sometimes it's like a stick of these condensed herbs, and they'll burn it like an incense, and they'll put it really close to your skin, and it's supposed to kind of like melt away the knots and bumps in your muscles. And they also have like these copper canisters where they put the same herbal type things, but it's a disc into the copper canisters, and they will kind of put a blanket on you and place those things on your body. So you get a little bit of heat therapy, and you also get a bit of aromatherapy. And the smoke from that moxibustion, I'm absolutely getting in this, and that is something I can't unsmell. When I first smelt it, there's no way I can not smell it anymore. It's gonna be moxibustion forever. And I like it, I like the smell. And it also has a flavor, which we'll get to. It's beautiful, I like that a lot. Herbal cough drop, some crayons, some orange gummies, and also some, like, if they for some reason made like rose flavored gummies. There's a bit of a floral note. I wrote down rose, but it's kind of leaning more in towards just a generic floral note with a bit of sweetness as well. All right, well, enough talking. Let's try this thing on the palate, shall we? Gambe. Well, the youth is apparent, but not to the point to where it's just like, man, they got lazy and they rushed it. They decided just to throw something in a bottle to make money, which happens, but not here. Not here at all. It's surprisingly rounded for such a young age. I mean, it's only 2 years older than what it needs to be even considered a Scotch. And you'd think it'd be just super sharp and shiny, but it's not. It's fairly rounded, but also kind of playful in the way to where it's not overly rounded to where it's just, dare I say, smooth, super smooth. And I absolutely love that. This is preferable for me. I am learning that super old whiskeys, although I do like them, they don't have that fight that I want. They're too friendly, they're too sophisticated, maybe for me. I like a little bit of a battle. I like a little bit of sharpness. I like a little bit of punch. And that does come with higher ABV whiskeys, but it also comes with more youthful whiskeys as well. And I'm learning to like them all, but I also kind of like maybe 12 to 15 is my sweet spot, I would believe. And as far as ABV goes, I'd say like 46 to 48 is my sweet spot right now. And this, although it is 5 years old, is hitting it. So that's great, and I really, really dig it. So on the palate, the notes I'm getting, that aforementioned moxibustion smoke, it does have a flavor, and it definitely tastes like this. I guess it's savory. Oh man, it's slightly salty to the point to where, in the savoriness kind of combined to where it almost tastes like an over-cured bacon. Like maybe somebody kept that pork belly in the brine, in the cure for a little bit too long, and that saltiness just permeated too much. If that's even possible, I'm not a meat curer, but that's kind of the note that I wrote down, and it kind of makes sense if you think about it. But it's not unpalatable. It's not a negative flavor. I dig it a lot. Charcoal ash, but not like the briquette, that chunk charcoal where you can actually tell it used to be a piece of wood. And moving into the finish is kind of starting to get a little bit of a bitter / sour type of note. The finish, I would say medium to long. It sticks around. It's because of the peat. For me, the peat just hangs out of my tongue for a really long time. I got some dying fire. It's fairly dry. And I wrote this down and it makes sense to me. It's like you took a spoonful of somebody's barbecue dry rub and they used like a smoked salt in their dry rub. That's the kind of things I get on the finish there. And on the whole, it's delicious. And it's only, I think I paid maybe $30? Between $30 and $40 for this? That's really good. That's very, very good for a whiskey this quality, especially when you think the 10-year-old. The 10-year-old keeps going up, dude. Every time I check online for a 10-year-old,
phrasing?
It's more and more. Like, it's escalating like a motherfucker. And I don't like it. This one, for now, is reasonable and is widely distributed. So, if you want to dip your toes into the Ardbeg world, or the Islay world in general, get this. And if this doesn't do it for you, then maybe it is too young, maybe it is too sharp, so maybe go for a higher age to get that more rounded element to it. But honestly, man, I like this. I really do. I've had the Ardbeg 10, I've had the Ubadal. The Ubadal, don't even talk about that. That's just in a different category all on its own. That shit's special. But this compared to the 10, I kind of like this more, to be perfectly honest. I like the sharpness. I like the fight. And I would absolutely buy this again, especially because of the price. Now, the song in question. is Pink Floyd. If you haven't noticed yet, my foundation, my musical foundation is classic rock. Pink Floyd, One of These Days, from the 1971 Meddle album, Meddle. If you haven't listened to that album, I'll put the link to both down there in the description, the song and the album. The album is just spectacular in itself, but this song is a standout track for sure. And it's kind of a little scary. It talks to you a little bit, and then it rocks you out a little bit. It kind of hits everything that I think pairs incredibly well with this whiskey. Yes, did I miss anything? Scan the notes, no. All right. Well, thank you again for stopping by. I hope you didn't mind my dick joke. I thought it was funny. I still kind of giggle. And yeah, I appreciate you stopping by. Thank you so much. Again, as I always finish, I know there are mountains of whiskey tubers out there, and you've chosen this one for now. So thank you. Thank you so much. Please hit the subscribe button or at least the thumbs up. That would be rad. I appreciate that. And cool. We'll see you next time.